Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Xperience Sessions right here on indigomusic.com. I'm Rohit, and joining me right now is Thomas Itty, an independent musician from Bangalore, but right now talking to me almost 13,362 kilometers away from New York, the United States of America. Thomas, welcome to indigomusic.com.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
Now, Thomas, I was going through your work, I was going through your website, and just some amazing work. And your love for Bangalore is expressed both in your music and your books. What are your fond memories of Bengaluru and growing up in the city?
I spent all my formative years in Bangalore, and I was there till I was about 25 years old. And I went to school. My whole schooling was in Bangalore. I used to live on MG Road, and I used to ride my bicycle to school, to Bishop Cotton School. And all my friends were there, and we're still friends. Actually, we have groups of friends in our WhatsApp groups, and we, meet here now and then. So it's, part of who I am.
Absolutely. And now you're in the US. How often do you visit Bengaluru?
I used to come every year when my parents were still there. My dad passed away in 2014. So since then, I haven't actually come back. But I'm thinking of coming next year.
Awesome. And now, do you see a change every time you visit Bengaluru? Like, first of all, is it too much for you to say Bengaluru? Because, even I'm used to saying Bangalore, but now it's Bengaluru. So which one do you prefer?
I only knew it as Bangalore.
Yeah.
And maybe last time I came, it was Bangalore. So, it's, I have no problem with either one of them. But in my mind, it's always Bangalore, so.
And what changes have you seen every time you visit the city?
I'm really happy to see the changes, the fact that it's doing so well. Because when I left, there wasn't even any IT or anything.
Yeah.
So just to see that and see all the companies and the fact that everybody I know who had stayed back is doing so well, it's heartwarming. It's good, and I'm glad the city is doing so well. And I was there, and when I was there in 2014, I would say the traffic was pretty bad. Because it's got worse. Because my dad was in he was in a hospital on Benergetta Road. I forget, Fortis,
yes.
Yeah, and I was staying on MG Road, I think, and I would go to see him, and it would take forever.
Yeah, you could reach Mysore faster than reaching Benergetta Road.
Right. Yeah, because I was there. I had a motorcycle. I used to get everywhere on my motorcycle, and it was fun. It was a great city.
Absolutely. Now, Bangalore is in the garden city that probably you grew up in years ago. It's today a melting pot of cultures and careers coming together. What is the one thing what is that one thing you think happened for the good? And what's that one thing which you wish never happened to the city?
I think the fact that it's grown so much and it's become the IT hub and it's known all over the world. Thomas Friedman mentions it in his book, and that part is good, but I would say it's just unregulated growth, I think, is sometimes no good, because everything, the population increases, but then the infrastructure doesn't increase along with it. I remember when I was there, the farthest, I stayed only in the cantonment area, around the MG Road, that part of it. And just going to Indira Nagar or Koramangala was like going somewhere really far. And now, each different area has its own hub. So you in Koramangala, you never leave that area, I think,
Yeah.
So, so I guess it's that just the unregulated growth in some places,
Yeah. And what do you think is a good thing that happened to Bengaluru?
I think the whole the fact that it's grown to be such a big business and intellectual and cultural, and it was always, I always thought that Bangalore was different than any other city in India. it had that mix of, whether it was music or, a mix of all kinds of people. When I was growing up, there was a big Anglo-Indian crowd of people, which gave the city, I thought, a certain kind of a vibe that you didn't find anywhere else. And I think it's added to that. And when I was there last time, I liked it a lot. I still do, and it's always a part of me. So it's very easy for me to write songs or a novel, or I've been writing some short stories. It's very easy because it's so much part of who I am.
Absolutely. And since you mentioned the word novel, let me talk about Bangalore Balloony. Now, it's your work in fiction, and it's about three boys, basically, who study together in Bengaluru. Is it really fiction, or does it have a bit of influence from your personal experience? And what's special about this book?
It is. I mean, it is fiction, but it is based on my experiences. So, for example, the kids, they go to Baldwin Boys School.
Yeah.
Although I went to Bishop Cotton's, but I did know a lot of friends from Baldwin's, and the friends are loose. The characters are loosely based on people I knew. I guess the main character is a little based on me, and it's about friendship, and and one of the things I felt that when I came here was that I went to college here. I went to, I did my undergraduate, my master's, and an MBA. And what I felt was that the friends that I developed here are nothing like the friends I had when I was growing up. The kind of deep connections, we didn't have to speak to know what we were, they were thinking. And that connection still holds true today. And so that book is about friendship, about having, boys, or having boys who are friends, and what they go through, and and doesn't matter what happens later on in life, they're still friends.
Absolutely. And the book also consists of songs, and we'll get to that in a bit. But I want to talk about your childhood friend and your longtime collaborator, Mr. Krishna. Tell me about the journey that you have had with him all these years.
Well, I met him when, actually, I met him later in my life than some of my other friends, because, I met him after my 10th standard when I went to my PUC.
Right.
And he had come from Calcutta, and he was in Christ College. And he knew some friends of mine from 10th standard who were in Christ College. And then we started hanging out, and, we shared pretty much the same interests. So he was a drummer. He used to play the drums. I used to play guitar and sing. And so, we got together and just started writing songs. And that was the basis of our friendship. But beyond that, we also connected on an intellectual level, and we read the same kind of books. So, yeah, we used to spend a lot of time together.
Fantastic. And now let's talk about your track, your new single. It's called Bangalore. What inspired you to write, of course, the city, but tell me more about the way you've put the lyrics together and the production has been done on this particular track.
Yeah, I have two songs of Bangalore. One is called Bangalore, the other is Memories of Bangalore. So the Bangalore was done earlier, but it was, again, both those songs, I didn't really have to think. I'm pretty much an instinctive songwriter, and I know, most times, if I just sit and I pick up my guitar and noodle around a bit, I can, come up with a song.
Right.
And it's more of a feel. It's a vibe, and I must have spent about half an hour writing that song. So it was an easy song to write, and and actually that song, I had it produced in a studio with a producer here, and called Steve Hansen.
Okay.
And so he helped me on some of the tracks on that song as well.
Right. And any plans of releasing a brand new track, an album or an EP? What's your plan?
I mean, these days I don't do albums anymore.
Yeah.
It's like singles, and then you can just release it, right away. And although I've always liked albums growing up, like Pink Floyd, you have a whole, there's a whole, everything from the liner art to, it's all connected. And I've always liked that. But these days, you can't really do that because people don't buy albums, they buy singles. So yeah, I write a lot of songs, and as I said, I record in my home studio. So it's I keep doing it on every month. I think I write a song.
Fantastic. And when can we expect another song from Thomas?
Probably in the next couple of months for sure.
All right. And what's it going to be? Any idea? Have you already started working on it, or do you have to still get your thoughts in one place?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't have no idea. When I sit down with my guitar, I have no idea. And I mean, I have written songs for certain events or certain things, but usually it's, it depends on my experiences, the sum of my experiences for that moment when I'm sitting with my guitar. And then it just comes up, and I basically write it pretty fast. I don't spend more than a few hours writing a song, because then after that, if I go back and try to tweak it too much, it sounds kind of contrived. And so I prefer it to be more instinctive and natural.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to that particular track, which will be out in about 2 or 3 months. And we obviously love your track, Bangalore Memories and Bangalore. We're going to be playing that on air right here in Bangalore and, of course, in Goa. So thank you so much for connecting, Thomas. It was fun having this chat with you. See you soon in Bangalore. And when you do visit Bangalore, do drop by to this radio station, and we'll have some fun.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, Thomas. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.